we're in for a back session. We're just picking a playlist. Christmas songs might be coming out. So yeah, we're gonna hit back today. Still in that kind of post-show. I've been explaining a lot more lately about the training, so today is probably going to be a little bit more informative again about why I'm doing certain things. I thought we'll take advantage of that post-show phase where the kind of training itself isn't going to be the most marvellous, but it's going to be very purposeful. And I think a lot of guys are very interested in the intricacies of the training after a show and how to approach it. So I'm going to continue that kind of routine on describing why we're doing what we're doing and basically just reinforcing a lot of things that I've already said. Yeah, it's basically just clarification to people how to approach the post-show training. So still training very hard, but we just know where we're at. We're at kind of like an 80% kind of intensity, you know, again, some reps in reserve, but still giving it some welly, still really training hard, focusing on connection, building good relationships with movements, and yeah, just enjoying it actually in a minute, because there's going to be a time before too long where everything gets ramped up and we'll be praying for rest days. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're gonna hit some back. I haven't really picked the movements right now because it's kind of one of those things where at the moment Patrick's just happy as long as we hit a certain amount of exercises. We kind of know the setup. It's going to be very similar to the pre-show in regards to what parts of the back we train and what order we do. You know, starting with the lats, then focusing on the rows, and then focusing on the erectors. So nothing really changed there. And yeah, total war's in, ready to rock really, aren't we? So gonna give it some welly. It's lat activation. So we're gonna do some cable pull down, 2 variations. So we've got the EZ bar, and then we're going to do a rope as well. This is just priming the lats, and then we'll do some like actual like back movements. I always do this at the beginning of a workout. It's a great time to do it. Just gets everything nice and warm and ready. Yeah, it's just a really good way to start your back exercises, especially if you don't have a very good connection with back. It's going to help encourage that connection. Okay. So. We're talking nicotine. Secret pre-workout ritual of Dean House. It is. I'll ask him more about it later. We'll find out why. There's always
not much of a secret anymore, is it?
Well, you know, just letting 36,000 subscribers. Dual prone dumbbell row. That's going to be our first compound movement today. So we put the compounds early on. Obviously the free weight exercises. Reason we're doing these is, number one, they're really good because you're prone, so you're fixed in a position, so your lats are the only thing that can work. 2, Louis got a little bit of a dodgy lower back, so when you have the option between the barbell row and prone row, it makes sense to do a prone row. So it means that Louis can really load his back today and not have to worry about that lower back. So it means he can get a lot of that meat work done that's very necessary in order to improve. So it just makes sense. So we're going to do probably 2 sets on here each. Do a couple of warm-ups, just make sure the elbows and that are feeling good on everybody, and then we'll really go in on some heavy rows. I'm at 70.
Big old 70.
No games. No games. I'll get the fucking straps around the fuckers. Let's have some fun.
Let's go. Nice. 2. 3, come on. 4. 5, lovely. 6. Come on. 7, and again. 8, let's go. 9, come on. 3 more. 2 more, easy work. 1 more, pull it up. Let's go, pull it up. Let's go. Yeah, nice stuff.
Good thing about this, guys, if you don't get stuck to the weight, even those last 2, if you don't get it all the way up, if you're still initiating and engaging from the back first, because the first thing you've got to pull from is your back. So you'll notice in the last 2 or 3 there, I didn't get all the way up. I wouldn't worry too much, because you've got like 7 reps where you get all the way up or so, 3 reps that are partial, but they're still stressed under the load. So that position where I'm at fully lengthened and there's a lot of weight, that's a very fundamental part of causing hypertrophy. Heavy weight in a stretch position. So, Dean, got anything to add to that? Stretch position?
Yeah, even if you're not getting the full contraction, the muscle is still under tension.
Yeah.
Which is, that's the most important thing.
That's why it's worth going there, isn't it? It's worth going in, especially on the back.
The muscle's still under tension.
It's quite safe on the back movement to be stretched. A little bit different with, like, say, chest. You have to be a little bit more conscious, don't you, with a stretched position on chest. Joints a little bit more vulnerable. Lats are quite, it's safer. So, you know, if you're doing like a pro number row and you kind of reach that failure, I would suggest, like Dean just said, no harm in going for a couple of partial reps. It'll probably aid you in your, you know, journey for hypertrophy. Felt fucking good though. It's heavy. So set 2, same thing again. You know, really what you're just trying to do is just trying to emulate your first set. Even if you don't, the intentions of doing so is what's gonna get you where you want to get to. So, you know, realistically, can you get the same reps twice on a set if it's your, you know, if you're loading it? Probably not, but going in there with the intention to do so is what's gonna give you maximum result, because it's all about intention. Yeah.
Come on, let's go. 1, good. 2, don't rush them. That's better. 3, 4, 5. Come on, James. 6, 7, good. Come on. 8, let's go. Here we go. Come on. 9, 10.
Oh, lovely. Fucking beautiful. Nothing like working against gravity. Those movements. Working like a, what do you reckon now, Dean? Like seat cable row or something? Probably feel quite good, wouldn't it?
Seat cable?
Yeah, like coming in a bit now, a bit tighter. We'll move on to a low row now. Cable. I think we're gonna opt for like a mag grip or kind of underhand. Something that's gonna hit a bit lower on the lats now. Obviously we just hit a lot of upper back. So now the idea is to bring in a little bit more of the lower lat. So we can do that by choosing specific handles and choosing specific seating positions on a low cable row. So you'll see the setup when we go over there. We'll have a little fiddle and get it to where we want it. See how it feels.
So yeah, as we're doing here, if you lean forward and stay forward, it'll be your traps that hold you in that position. So they'll be doing a lot of the work. So as you come forward, as you come back, just drop the traps down and then pull in, and then the lats will take over.
Sweet. So basically don't stay too length forward for the whole movement. Do allow yourself to kind of rise, bring the traps down and back, and then drive the elbows through. Because obviously lat engagement is your elbow coming from here to here, essentially is lat engagement. If you're here, your elbow's not going anywhere, plus depression of the traps, takes the traps out of the movement, allows you to use your lats. So another key pointer from Big Dean there. Yes. Good. And again. Good. Powerful. Come on, heavy. And again. Come on, Dean. Good. And again.
Let's go.
Thick. Come on, dense. This is why you're thick. Come on. Good. And again. Fight it out. Come on. Good. Tension, tension, tension. Lock it, squeeze it, drive it. Come on. Strong set.
The grip went there.
That's the only thing, isn't it?
Woo.
All right. Who's up there? Let's get this grip. Ooh.
Think about each rep, Jay. Think about each rep. Nice, think about it. Beautiful. 3, lovely stuff. 4, we're on. 5. And again. 6. 7, nice. We're on. 8, keep it moving. 9. 10. Let's go. 11. 12.
Oh. I was happy with
You
that.
going the same way, Dino? Do you want back off?
That's it, yeah?
I think we'll all do a 20% back off. Just to, so the reps is like maybe. Yeah.
Let's go, Jay. 5, 6. Think about every rep. 7, 8, 9. Let's go. Pull them in. Keep going. 10. Pull them in. 11. Come on. Every rep counts. 12. Think about every rep. Come on. Come on. 13.
Felt lovely. Ooh. So yeah, we're going to move on to a dual pull down, but we're not going to pull conventionally like right into the upper chest. We're going to pull down, keep the elbow as long as possible, pull down in front, and that's going to hit a lot more lats. So we'll go through it in a second, show you.
Nice. Watch his chair start firing, watch his traps. As he starts firing, he traps when he starts firing. Do that from the beginning.
So then once you, yeah, I can hear that. Good movement, nice movement. Very specific. It's like, you can say to someone on their program, go do pull downs with that handle, and you'll have 10 different ways people pull down. And all will help develop the back some way or another. And that's where bodybuilding at a certain level becomes much more specific. And the decisions you make have to be a lot more acute and specified. Because if you've got weak body parts, you need to know how to train the weak body parts.
That goes with all the exercises. You tell someone, like, do this exercise, and they'll go and do it the way that they do it. When you've got someone they're training with you or a coach training you, they'll be able to pick out what you need to change about the way that you do that particular exercise.
Definitely. And a lot of that comes down to cheat patterns occur, you know, comfort. So when you're told to do an exercise, Dean will highlight this as well, your body will be encouraged to find
the easiest way of doing it.
Exactly, and it'll do that over anything else automatically, and it takes reprogramming and forcing change in order to get a new way of lifting, which is not easy because obviously subconsciously your body's going to try and lift a certain way, which is very hard to reprogram because the conscious isn't always at the forefront. So the objective really with your training is to try and become less of a subconscious trainer and more of a conscious lifter. And then once you can become more present in your training and less automatic, eventually your new automatic will be reprogrammed by that consciousness that you've installed over the period of time that you're trying to reprogram your training.
And the hardest part of that is obviously that when you are doing the reprogramming, the weights that you use are going to have to go down. So you've got to forget about ego.
Yeah.
Drop the weights down, concentrate on what you need to do for your body in each particular exercise, and then build the weights back up again.
I think that's the biggest problem with bodybuilders reaching plateaus.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because there's many bodybuilders that could have been a fantastic bodybuilder, but unfortunately a little bit of ego becomes an obstacle, and to get over that obstacle you have to let go of ego, and it doesn't happen.
They may have reached that plateau in a particular exercise again because of the way that they was doing that for their body.
Yeah.
When they break it down again, maybe change something slightly,
of course,
and then build back up again, they may surpass that plateau.
Listen, for example, like he says, let's say we do a lat pull down like that for 6 months and it builds that part that I would have to work on. What if then there's something that needs adjustment again? Like Dean highlighted then, that might have to change again in order to suit how we go from this point to forward again. You know, bodybuilding training is a constant evolution in order to keep progress occurring. And it's the same with the nutritional approach, it's the same with the training approach and the supplementation approach. Things can't remain the same all the time. You have to adapt depending on what is actually necessary in order to become better.
And sometimes the slightest variation makes a massive difference.
Absolutely. So yeah, hopefully you take something away from that little segment there, guys. It should help. Right, one more. Good, look at that.
That's much better.
Yes. Nice, keeping it nice and suppressed in the traps. Drive, release from under that. Fucking nice set, Luke. Squeeze. That's the one.
Well done, Lou, much better.
Good set, mate. Big mother.
How's that feel?
Good, that's it. And then remember, as you're coming down with the elbows, try and drive them almost in together a touch. Yes. Good. Yes. And again. Beautiful, and again. Bring this down. As you come down, drive down the elbow. Good. Nice. Strong. Perfect reps. Every fucking time. Yeah, good stuff. Beautiful.
Come on.
So we're doing a row variation on the belt squat.
Feel the movement.
This is something that we put it out there. We said, Dean, do you want to throw a movement in? And he said, yeah, let's go over to the belt squat, do some rows on there. So something I haven't done before, I have seen done, and I've seen it done with success by many people. So I'm actually really keen to try it. So we've opted for the straight bar because we haven't done a straight bar yet today.
Lovely.
Yeah. Dean, anything you fancy saying about this movement in particular? Just nice little.
Just a nice stable base, slight bend in your legs. Bend right over, get a nice stretch. Pull it in fast, little hold, and then slow negative.
Yeah. These kind of movements are good later in the workout, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because obviously it's not as heavy as some of the stuff we've done already, like in terms of like dumbbells and stuff. But
it's nice and smooth, isn't it?
when you're a little bit fatigued already,
it's a nice,
these movements are going to hit a lot harder than they would earlier on.
Movement, isn't it? Up and catch, that's it, perfect. Everyone like that, Luke. Perfect. 2. Everyone, catch.
3.
3. Catch it every time.
4.
Lovely. Up, explosive.
5.
Good.
Yeah, that's good. 6.
Good. Explosive.
7.
Good. Catching everyone.
8.
Good.
Beautiful.
And again. Good.
Good. Finish it.
Let's go. 10.
Good.
Come on. 2 more. Get them up. Explosive. Catch.
1 more big one.
Good. 1 more. Up.
Good.
Lovely stuff.
Yep, gotcha. Good fucking stuff. Lovely, man. Big more than 3, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Nice, isn't it, Luke?
Let's get it.
Come on. Nice and strong.
I can say this now, Olympia 2021.
Catch. Come on, more of a catch. Catch. That's better. Slow negative. Perfect. 3. Good. 4. 5. Lovely. Come on. 6. Good. 7. Catch. 8. Perfect. 9. 3 more. 10. 2 more. Slow negative. Slow negative. 1 more. Slow negative, James. Come on. Catch. Yeah. Slow negative. Good. Stand up.
Oh.
Down.
Felt that one, B.
Here there, B. Feel
Whole
that
back,
one, B.
entire back, top to bottom, left to right. Oh. That's it, aggression. 2.
Come on.
3.
Good. Catch it.
4.
That's better.
5, come on. 6, come on, 2 more at least. 7, and again.
Come on, catch it, catch it.
8, good.
Come on.
1 more.
It.
Row that fucker. Good. Trap bar deadlift. There's a lot of leg involvement in this, but you can never have 2 good legs. But to be fair, it's just for a change. Saw Ben Chow doing some trap bar, so really you can say this is because of Ben. As long as we're doing something for the lower back erectors and posterior chain as a whole, I'm happy. I typically do rack pull or deadlift, but this mixes it up, makes it interesting. And because we're in that, like I say, post-show phase, we have a little bit of ability to have some fun and some variety in the training, so might as well do something that we enjoy. And I fancy doing something a little bit different. First working set. No pressure, Dean.
See what I mean?
No pressure, son.
Hulk smash. First what the Hulk smash can do. No games.
Did legs 2 days ago, yeah? That don't mean fucking.
Fucking does when they've got DOMs like this.
All I'm going to say, guys, is if you feel DOMs, don't worry about it. All right, let's do it, man. Let's get it.
So is that your scientific
That's my bro.
analysis,
That's
yeah?
my bro scientific. All right, try
Scientific
record time. Let's go. Fucking easy, man. Ain't just going to fly by and be out of here in 10 minutes.
Let's work with it!
Go!
Yes!
Push through the floor.
Yes!
1.
Easy! Come on!
2. Easy.
Nice. Get it up.
3. Easy.
Beautiful.
4, easy. 5, easy.
Yes. Let's
6, good. Just 2 to go now, you're done. Let's go. Last one, breathe and reset. Let's go. Yes. Good fucking set. See, look, listen. I don't want to hear none of that DOMs. Don't want to hear none of that DOMs.
That was a solid 12 there, bro.
That was very good. Good set. Next fuck, back swap. Oh, that was a good set. I was very happy with that, mate. Very strong.
What are you doing?
I'm going to do another. We'll do another plate on top of that, aren't I don't even know how much he done. What did Ben do? Have a look on his gram. Have a look. See how many reps he got. Fuck's sake. The men do so stupid. Mate, I know your capabilities.
Let's have a little cheeky poke, boy.
It's like you say to me.
Right.
It's literally the same thing.
Yeah, that's it.
I know your capabilities.
Pay your bills, mate.
You deadlift 280 for free.
That's 6.
That's
isn't it?
fucking 5 plate there, boy.
Yeah, but what's
Nah.
the weight? What's 320 kg. And for how many reps? Does he do 2?
It's a cluster though.
Oh, there's more on that
Hang on,
one.
that's heavy.
320 kg.
So wait. And how many reps do you get in one round? How many is he getting? 4. Fucking bench out. Look what fucking you're doing. Making the King's Gym massive put me in the pressure.
That's a lot of weight there.
He's a strong man. I know you're a strong man. Yours is higher though.
It is a lot higher. It's fucking nearly 6 inches.
You should see the faces on everybody right now. We're all like,
He's about 6 inches taller though as well.
oh yeah, no. Yeah, no, listen, team chat. So he gets 5 reps.
You should have done 5. Let's start again. Don't fucking injure yourself, Joe.
I never injure myself, lad. Don't worry about me, sir. It'll be alright. But then I break my back.
2. What is that, so? He's got 7 on there, I think. I'm not sure there was 3.
Dean's counting.
I've lost count.
I think he's going to say PCT against him.
PCT.
4.
I'll do it on PCT.
So, do we know how much a trap bar is?
50, 30 kilo.
Let's work, come on. Yes! Everything tight. Yeah!
Let's fucking on! Drive up! Yeah, come on, James! Drive up off the floor!
Lovely. 4. Again, one more.
Let's fucking go, bro!
Lovely. 5.
Yeah! Come on!
Pick me up.
Let's work! Yeah!
Lovely stuff.
IG!
Up!
Come on!
Come on!
Come on! Let's fucking finish it!
Up!
Finish
Come
it!
on!
Yeah!
Lovely stuff.
Big go! Big go! Big go!
Fucking touch one.
Thank you.
Look at my touch. That's a joke.
Felt good though.
PCT.
PCT.
290 plus a bar.
So can you say it's not about that now anymore?
Definitely not about the juice, boys and girls. It's about the
About the minerals.
Micronutrients.
232. No one cares about that, mate. Exactly.
It's a joy actually training with everyone. It's nice to be able to do this because it's not something you can do in the lead up to a show. You could, but it's just mentally you can't because you think it's not right. But there's nothing actually fucking wrong with it as long as you train hard. So I really enjoyed that. So a little bit out of breath. That was a bit of a maximal effort. So that's harder than I've tried on things for a long time. So as long as it's only one thing. So I'm just going to do a 5-minute cool down on the bike like I normally do, and then that's it pretty much. Get out of here and you just get home and like kind of relax for the evening, and then tomorrow we'll be training some hamstrings and calves, and then we'll have a rest day the next day. So we just resume as per normal. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that session. Saw some little new bits and bobs, learnt a few things. And we'll be back next time. Certainly with some more training videos, of course, with a little bit more talk, but all the other stuff as well. So, peace, love from us all, and King's Gym, thank you very much.